Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. We'll wait for another 1 minute, then we'll continue our chapter. Children, please switch on your camera.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning. All the children who will outline out of your college, please switch on your cameras, children. Okay, who will tell me we started the chapter? The boy with the catapult?
Yes, ma'am.
Who will tell me what happened, till what part of the story we have read? Let's recapitulate fast and then move further. Please switch on your cameras, children. Okay, who will tell me what kind of a boy was Bodhraj? If you have to tell you, describe or write the personality traits of Bodhraj. Please explain me this. We have already read about the character sketch of Bodhraj. Yes, please, children. We have already discussed this yesterday. Yes, Mandavya. Anupal. Arjun. See, even after telling you again and again, the people are not switching on your cameras. Yes, Arjun. Tell something about Bodhraj, please.
Ma'am, can I tell?
Yes, Arnav.
Ma'am, in the story, ma'am, there was a child, ma'am, who was, ma'am, odd, ma'am, if he's staying, ma'am, if he, ma'am, pinched anyone's arms, ma'am, the arm will swell up, ma'am, as if snake bite, ma'am, and he like to kill the birds, harm the birds and animals, and also, ma'am, if the scorpion stung Bodhraj, ma'am, the scorpion will fall dead. Uh, as Bodhraj was said, he was blooded venom. Ma'am,
So,
his blood was full of venom.
so does that mean he was poisonous, or what does that mean something else?
No, ma'am, this means, ma'am, ma'am, this not means that, ma'am, he was, ma'am, venomous. Ma'am, this means only, ma'am, that, ma'am, he was very, ma'am, dangerous for the children that are, ma'am, that children live in town, ma'am, for them.
Yeah,
of
so it
my
basically
city.
means that he used to kill even scorpions and snakes. Okay, very good. Okay, so we have already read the page number 1717. Yes, yes.
No, ma'am. The only
Ma'am, the
expectation was
last paragraph is left.
yes, ma'am.
The only
Yes, ma'am.
exception was Bodhraj.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, who will read?
I'm married.
Ma'am, can I read?
Pratyusha.
Okay. The only exception was Bodhraj. He found it a good hunting ground. The
Keep calm.
trees had many nests. Monkeys roamed around, and under the bushes lived a pair of
Mongoose.
what is it? Is it?
Mongoose.
Mongoose. Mongoose. Behind the house, there was a big room where my mother stored our extra luggage. This room had became a hunt of pigeons. You could hear them cooning all day. Near the broken glass of the ventilator, there was a
Minus.
Mina's nest. The floor of the room was littered with feathers, bird droppings, broken eggs, and bits of straw from nest.
Okay, thank you, Pratyusha. So here, when this author's father got transferred from one place to the another, he was actually earlier living in the center of the city. But now he was posted to the outskirts of the city, and now he's got a huge bungalow there. There was lots of trees and gardens, and it was very, very spacious. But the author, the boy, used to feel very alone there because he did not have any company. Even the friends he made in the school, they were very far away, so they rarely came to visit him. Exception means what in spite of being very far and nobody else came, the only one who came there was Bodhraj. And since he was very fond of hunting and killing birds, so he loved this place where his friend was residing. And especially the parts of the rooms where it was the haunts of the place which is frequently visited. You know, the pigeons, they are not very scared of the people. They normally make their nests in a part of a house, which is not very frequently visited by the members and is not disturbed by them. So, but wherever they are making their nest, you will find lots of feathers and their droppings, and actually the place is very filthy. And this was the part of the house which was actually the storage, where the extra luggage, the extra things which were not required in the house, they were kept there. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt, children? Any word?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Next page. Who'll read?
Ma'am, can I read?
Arnav?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Arnav.
My mother did not approve of my friendship with Bodhraj, but she realized that I was lonely and needed company. One day, my mother said to me, "If your friend is so fond of destroying nest, tell him to clear a storeroom. The birds have made it very filthy."
I protested. Continue, then I'll explain.
I protested. "You said it cruel to destroy nest. I didn't suggest
I
he
didn't. I didn't.
I didn't suggest he should kill the birds. He can remove the nest without harming them." The next time Bodraj came, I took him to the
So down.
godown. It was dark and smelly as through we
As though.
had entered
As
an
though.
animal's lair.
Okay. So here, Since Bodhraj was very sturdy, strong, he shows lack of manners also, and he was very quarrelsome. He often indulged in fights also. So no parent want their kid to be friends with such kind of a person. But since now this child was staying far away from the city, far away from his friends, there were no friends, no company. So his mother approved of his friendship with Bodhraj. And now, since his mother also knew that Bodhraj was very good in hunting and with the birds and all, so she gave him an idea that why not call your friend and tell him to take out all these birds from here and clean our godown. So initially, the his friend was little skeptical. He said, "You only told me not to hurt birds, not to destroy their nests, and now you are only telling me to call my friend." So his mother clarified that I did not mean you and your friend to hurt the birds and kill or destroy the eggs. What I mean is you can just pick them up from our go down and put them safely somewhere else so that the entire house is more cleaner. Yes, next. Mandavya, please read. Mandavya, are you there? Arjun?
Ma'am, Mandavya is having mic problem.
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes, Arjun, please read, beta. I confess. Page number 1818, third paragraph. I confess I was somewhat worried.
I confess I was somewhat worried what if true to form Bodhrag destroyed the nests, pulled out the birds' feathers
Okay,
and
Arjun,
broke their.
Arjun, wait. Arjun, wait. But when there's a full stop, give a pause for some time. You can read it the same sentence like, I confess I was somewhat worried. What if, true to form, Bodhraj destroyed the guests? Okay? What do
Okay, ma'am.
you Yes.
Bodhraj had bought his catapult. He studied the position of the nests under the roof. Near the ventilator was the miners' nests. I could see bits of cotton, wool, and rag hanging out. Some pigeons strut,
Started.
strut, strutted up and down a beam, cooing to one another.
Okay.
The miners' little.
Thank you. Thank you, Arjun. So initially, when his mother suggested him that why not call your friend and clean up the entire place, his friend was little worried because he knew what kind of a boy what kind of a personality his friend was. That he, find it very amusing and entertaining to hurt the birds and destroy their eggs. So he was little worried that if I call my friend, he'll spoil everything, all the eggs and nests here. So, but then he had no option. He called his friend Bodhraj. So Bodhraj came as usual with his catapult, and he studied the entire place very carefully. And near the ventilator was the menace nest. I could see bits of cotton wool and rag. If you've ever seen the nests, what are they generally made of? Please, children, unmute yourself and tell me what are the nests. Normally, if you find the nests made by birds, what do you think? What do you think they are made up of? What all things?
Ma'am, from the ma'am, very, ma'am, the cotton and ma'am, the root, ma'am, the small, ma'am, leaves, soft things, and ma'am, small, ma'am, the
Yes.
stems.
So basically, all the soft and small things, the twigs, the grass, the dried grass, um, you know, um, um, cotton, or rag here is old toned pieces of clothes also sometimes. So he could find that all these pieces were there, and some pigeons started up and down the beam, going to one another. Beam is, you know, when you are making a house, you make some portions, the pillars, the beams, you put those in the house so that it increases the stability of the house and make it more stronger. So here he could see the beams, they were starting. Starting means they were moving up and they're flying up and down the beam. And they were they were cooing to one another. Cooing is the sound of the birds, especially the pigeons. They were talking to one another while they were flying up and down the beam. Yes, next. Anupam.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, read Anupam.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the miners, little ones are up there, said Bodhraj, aiming with his catapult. I noticed two tiny yellow beaks peeping out of the nest. Look, Bodhraj explained, this is Ganga Maya. It
Ganga
isn't
Maina.
usually
Ganga
found.
Maina.
Ganga Meena. It isn't usually found in these areas. Where are the parents? I asked. Must have gone in search of food. They should be back soon. Bodhraj raised his catapult. I wanted to stop him, but before I could open my mouth, there was a whizzing sound and then a loud clang as the pebble hit the iron sheet of the roof.
Okay.
The tiny beaks.
Thank you, Anupam. So when he called his friend there to the godown, his friend scanned all the areas and he found that there was a Maina's nest. Since he knew so much about the birds and animals, he could recognize that this special uh, um, type of Maina was not usually found in that area. So it was Ganga Maina. And Ganga Maina, basically, maybe it is found near the areas near Ganga. So he was a little surprised that how come it is here in this part of the country. And he was worried that there are only two baby birds in the nest and there were no parents. So they were just discussing amongst each other that where are the parents and they might have gone to take the food and collect things for their kids. So now, again, as usual, as Bodhraj's habit was, he took out his catapult and he aimed at the birds. So initially, he wanted to hurt them. But then what happened? Let's read. So he took out his friend wanted to stop him. But before he could stop the Bodhraj, he has already aimed at the nest and he has already shot at the nest. But coincidentally, he missed it. Normally, he never missed his aim, the target. But this time he missed it. And the pebbles, the stone hit at the ceiling. That is why it makes a clang sound. You know, when you hit or you throw a stone on some iron thing, iron sheet or the iron, anything made of iron or a metal, it makes some particular sound. That is called clang. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, next. And now since, when initially the baby birds, they were making some sound, they were waiting eagerly for their parents for the food, maybe they were hungry or something. But the moment Bodhraj aimed at them and they heard that sound of the pebble, they both were very scared and they quietly hid in their nest. And their cooing and twittering was also ceased. Ceased means stopped. Since they were scared, so they stopped making any kind of sound. It seemed as if all the birds had been frightened into silence. Now the birds knew that there is somebody there in that part of the house who might kill them or hurt them. So that is why all the birds, the cooing, the baby birds, everything, there was a pin drop silence there. Yes. Next. Who'll read the tale? Mehul. Why Anukal, Pratyusha, and Mandavi's cameras are on? Yes, start reading, please. Mehul, please start reading. Anupal, stop playing with the camera, Beta. Where is Mehul? Pratyusha, Anupal,
Yes, ma'am.
please start reading, Beta. I think the others are facing network issues. Arjun, why are you sitting in such a dark area? You can hardly see you. Yes, Anupal, please start reading.
Ma'am, Rudraj let fly another pebble. This time it struck a beam. Bhodraj was proud of his aim, but he had missed his target twice and was very angry with himself. When the chicks peeped over the rim of the nest, Bhodraj has a third try. This time the pebble hit the side of the nest. A few straws and the bits of cotton wool fell, but the nest was not dislodged.
Yes.
Dislodged. Podras lifted his catapult again. Suddenly, a large shadow flitted across the room, blocking the light from the ventilator. Startled, we looked up, gazing down at the menacingly was a large kite with its wings outstretched. The myna chicks began fluttering their wings and shrieking loudly. What would the kite do? The kite left the ventilator.
Read, Beta. Read
The,
the last
the,
sentence.
the kite left the ventilator and perched on a rafter. It had folded back its wings. It shook its craggy neck and peered to the right and the left. The birds' frightened cries filled the air. The kite has been
Okay,
coming
that's it,
here.
that's it. Okay, so Bodhraj was he always used to brag about his aim, that he is very good at aiming. But this time, maybe something was there which was stopping, or he was missing his aim. You know, sometimes when you want to hurt others and others are getting saved, because this time he was not hurting big birds. What he was aiming at were the tiny little birds who were not ready, who were not capable of helping themselves. So he missed his aim twice. Third time he again hit, but he was not able to destroy the nest. Last time when he aimed, before he could aim at the nest, he saw a kite was there, and the large shadow flitted across the room. So it was flying as if, when you are in a dark room and you see some shadow, since the birds they fly very fast, so he could see some shadow has passed by, blocking the light from the ventilator. So it might be sitting at the ventilator and he could see its shadow. Gazing down at us menacingly was a large kite with its wings outstretched. What is menacingly? When you are in a very mischievous and threatening manner. So the kite was looking at both these boys that it is my thing. I am here to eat up these tiny little birds and I'm here to destroy their nest. How come you two are entering into my territory? That kind of a threat the kite was giving to these two boys. So the kite left the ventilator and perched on the rafter. Perched means it sit. Perch means to sit, and rafter is beam. Again, that's a beam of a part. Part of the house which is holding the ceiling. So kite flew from the ventilator down to the beam. It had folded its wings. It shook its craggy neck. Craggy is a strong, rough neck, and peered. Peered is looked carefully to the right and left. The birds' frightened cries filled the air. So the birds, the pigeons, the small baby birds, everybody knew that the kite is there. So that means that this entire line paragraph, it shows that this was not the first time that kite had come here. He frequently used to visit this part of the house, and it was the kite who was destroying the nests and spoiling the eggs. So it is possible, there's a high possibility that the parents of those baby birds, they were actually eaten up by the kite, and there was nobody to take care of the baby birds. There is a possibility of that, because now since birds knew that kite was there, so they were very frightened, very scared. Any doubt, children?
No, ma'am.
Okay, let's read the next one. Arnav, is your mic proper now?
Ma'am, may I read?
Yes, beta, please. So we'll read at least till 10 lines. We'll read at least 10 lines. Start reading fast.
The kite has been coming here every day, said Bodhraj. I realized why broken wings, straw, and bits of bird's flesh littered the floor. The kite must have ravaged the nest often.
Often,
Bodhraj had
often. And
taken
children, please keep underlining the words that you're not able to understand. Okay, once we finished with the explanation, then you can ask your doubts. Yes, continue, please.
Bodhraj had not taken his eyes off the kite, which was slowly moving towards the nest. The cries became shriller. I was a bundle of nerves. Bodhraj raised his catapult and aimed at the kite. Do not hit the kite. It will attack you, I shouted, but Bodhraj paid no attention. The pebble missed the kite and hit the ceiling of the kite spread
Mhm.
ceiling. The kite spread its wing wide and peered down. Let's get out of here, I said, frightened. The kite will eat up and the little ones. This sounded rather strange coming from him. Bodhraj aimed again. The kite left the rafter and spreading its wings flew in a semicircle and alighted on a beam. The chicks continued to scream.
Okay,
Bodhraj had
thank you, Arnav. So here, now, because of the destruction that could be seen there, Bodhraj guessed that this was not the first time that kite has come there. It used to frequently visit that part of the house, and it was the kite who has destroyed the other birds and the nests. So this some this has touched, or something has changed in Bodhraj, that rather initially he was aiming at the birds, but when he saw that kite is there who is hurting others. So maybe he took it as a competition. That how come I was the one who was taking the aims and destroying everything? Then how come kite has come there? So I'll not let kite take my chance. Maybe because of that. One reason that I am the one who will be the in charge and not the kite. Secondly, he must have realized that the baby birds are on their own. Their parents might have lost their life because of the kite. So he wanted to save the birds as well, because they were helpless. They were so small that they could not fly. They could not save themselves. So he these feelings changed Bodhraj, and then rather hurting the baby birds, he tried to save them from the kite. So rather than aiming at the birds now, the baby birds, he started aiming at the kite. And now his friend was very scared. He said that if you hurt the kite, then it will charge us, it will come and hurt us. But Bodhraj was nowhere to get, no, nowhere he was getting scared of that kite. He wanted to help the baby birds at any cost. So that is why he picked up the pebbles and started hitting and aiming at the kite. So then in the next part of the chapter, you'll see that he asked his friend to aim at kite, so that this keeps him distracted. Meanwhile, what Bodhraj did was, since only 5-10 minutes are left, so I'm explaining you the last paragraph also. So you can go through that and you can ask me the doubts in the next class. So what happens is, when he was aiming at the kite, now he want Bodhraj studied the entire situation and he wanted to help the baby birds. Now he got an idea. He gave the catapult and the pebbles to his friend and he told him to just distract the kite. So his friend started aiming at the kite. Meanwhile, what Bodhraj did was he kept a table and some boxes and he climbed up till the Mena's nest. He carefully picked up Mena's nest and both of them they ran out of the room. And he, carefully put that Mena's nest into the. There was another room garage. There was only one window and one door, so it was a better and a safer place for the baby birds. So he quietly and carefully kept the nest at that new house, new place. And when he looked at the birds, they were very scared. They were, when obviously when even Bodhraj and his friend were new to them, so they were scared of them also. So Bodhraj, instead of hurting them, he asked his friend to get some water, and he fed water to the birds. And later, Bodhraj used to frequently visit the house, but this time he did not carry catapults with him. Rather, he carried grains and things like that for the birds. So the boy who used to hurt the birds, who was actually the predator, in the last end part of the story, this entire episode of the kite and his encounter with the baby birds has changed the entire personality of Bodhraj, and he has become now a savior rather than hurting the animals. Okay. Similarly, something in our lives also, we should be very vigilant and very cautious of things going on around us because they have impact on us. They can change us for good and bad. So always let the positive things change you for positive reason and make you a better version of yourself every day. Okay. Any doubts, children? Because there were words like, if you have read page number 1919, the second line, I realized why broken wings, straw, and bits of bird flesh littered the room. Littered is, which is spread here and there, making the room dirty. The kite must have ravaged the nest often. Ravaged means, then I'm explaining you the meanings. Children, please keep writing in your books. Ravaged means destroyed. Bodhraj had not taken his eye off the kite, which was slowly moving towards the nest. The cries became shriller. Shriller means when you are shouting, you are in a very high-pitched voice. Okay. So aim, I'm reading it, the last section. Aim at the kite, go on hitting it. Don't let it sit down, he instructed. Then he ran and pulled up a table standing against the wall to the middle of the room. I didn't know how to use the catapult. I tried once, but the kite had left the beam and flown to another. Bodhraj brought the table right under the Mena's nest, then picked up a broken chair and placed it on the table. He climbed on the chair, gently lifted the nest, and slowly stepped down. Let's get out of here, he said, and ran towards the door. I followed. We went to the garage. It had only one door, one window in the back wall. The kite can't get in here, he said, and climbing onto a box, placed the next on a beam. Turn your books on last page, 2020. The Mena's young had quietened down. Quietened means they were not making any sound now. Standing on the box, Bodhraj peeped into the nest. Peeped means when you're looking carefully into something through small hole. I thought it would pick them up, and put them in his pocket, as he usually did. But after looking at them for a long time, he said, drink some water. The chicks are very thirsty. We'll put it drop by drop into their mouth. I brought a glass of water. Both the chicks, beaks open, were panting. Panting means when you are scared and you breathe very heavily. That is called panting. Bodhraj fed them with drops of water. He told me not to touch them, nor did he touch them himself. Have your parents know they were here? I asked. They will look for them. We stayed in the garage for a long time. When Bodhraj came the next day, he had nothing, neither catapult nor pebbles. He carried a bag of seeds. We fed the menas young and spent hours watching their antics. Yes, children, any doubt now? Antics here means the playful. When the kids, the baby birds, they are cooing and they are playing with each other's feathers and beak. That is called playful manner.
Okay, ma'am.
You can go through the chapter. In case of any doubt, you can ask me in the next class. And we have finished the reading of the chapter. We'll start with the difficult words and the word meanings in our next class. Because I think within the next 3 minutes, the meeting will finish. Okay. So, okay, what do you think? The personality both had, did it help him in some way?
Yes, ma'am.
How?
Ma'am, the children, ma'am, ma'am, the personality helped him in the way, ma'am, as he changed, ma'am, as his ma'am, whole life was changed because of, ma'am, of one word,
No,
ma'am,
no, no, no,
as
no, 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 no. Arnav, understand the question. Bodhraj was very, he was not scared of anything. He was very strongly built. And he always take, everything, whatever came to him as a competition. All these traits, all these traits, all these traits, do they help him in some way or the other? Did they help him? Anybody else? See, all these traits, according to me, helped him because if he was not scared, if he was scared and he did not pay heed to the competition or something, then he would not have saved the Mena's baby birds. Yes,
yes, ma'am.
since he was very strong, he was not scared of anything, and he took everything as a competition. That is why he took his chance of saving the birds. Otherwise, his friend was very scared. He advised him to run away. But it was Bodhraj who was very adamant in saving the birds from the kite. Okay. So, do you think it is good to hunt the animals for fun and sport?
Ma'am, what? Ma'am, please repeat the question.
Is it good to hunt animals and birds for fun and sport? As a game.
No, ma'am. Ma'am, no,
Why
ma'am.
only Arnav is saying where are the others? There are only 4 participants now. Okay, yes, Arnav.
Ma'am, because ma'am, animal also feel pain, ma'am,
Yeah.
when we hurt them. Ma'am, we should not hurt them. Uh, Ma'am, we should not hurt them because that.
They are also living beings like us.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So before doing or some hurting or doing
Exactly.
something to the others, we should always keep ourselves in their place and see how will we feel if something same has happened to us. If you feel good and happy, you can do it to the others also. If you feel that no, I'm gonna be very sad or it's gonna hurt me, then you should also not do that to others, right? Good, Arya. Good try. Very good. In the next class, we'll start with the difficult words and word meanings of the same chapter. Okay. So, thank you, children.